Jai Baba, hi Camilla, hi Rama. This is my COVID haircut, so it may look different. I may look different to you, but it's still me. And here we are in the Mutual Society Film Studio in the Knoxville location. And we're going to do a mock-up of our roof and our gutters and our scuppers. And so here we are. This is the cobra. This is gutter. This represents a quarter of the parapet wall. This is the existing hole where the water goes in and is supposed to go down through the brick and out at the bottom. But that's asking a lot, and nobody in their right mind these days would ever construct anything like that. So we are going to fill that up with brick, and then the Kemper will go over that and seal it up. And instead, we are going to build a scupper. This is a piece of sheet metal. It shouldn't be the real thin stuff. Should have, in the US it would be about 16 gauge. I don't know how that relates to India. But the fabricator, the people that work with the tin, will take a flat piece of metal. They will cut out a notch here. They'll cut out a notch here. And they will slice this. And they will slice this. And then they will put this in their, what do we call it? Their machine that bends things. And this will be bent like this. And this will be bent like this. And this will be bent like this. And that's the beginning of the scupper. Where's the bottom piece? And then this may not be the original piece that I was going to use, but this will be a rectangular piece that will be about half the width of the gutters, which is maybe about 3 inches. So this will be welded or adhered to this tin like that. And then these have to be reinforced. So they would take another little piece of tin, fold it in half, and they would weld it. They will do a much better job than I am doing because they will be professionals. And then this piece would just go like that to reinforce this joint. And that means no water can come through this crack because that's sealed up with another piece of tin. No water can come through here because that's just a piece of folded metal. That's solid. And then the same way here, this piece would be here to reinforce all the way against that corner. And this piece would reinforce this joint. So there, this is the scupper, this is all flashing. And then on this end, the part that was notched, this gets bent like that. And this will be on the outside of the wall, and that becomes the drip edge. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we are going to take our new scupper, and we have to have a place to put it. If we put it over here in the corner, that thickened column over there is wider than all the other columns, and it just wouldn't look good. So I think we should come over from the corner, space column to this space here, and it will be the easiest way is to just take all this stuff out of here. So now we have a column, and what was between the columns is removed all the way down to the roof slab. The gutters that were there, the gutters that had been there like this have to be cut back, all the way back so that you have room for the flashing. This will slide into the hole, and the flashing will overlap the columns, and this will go down this has to have a slope, of course, so water can come out. But it doesn't have to have a steep slope. It only has to have, if this is 12 inches, 1 foot, the distance, if this is resting on the outside, this has to have only about 1/4 inch. And I have no idea what that is in millimeters. You can figure it out. So this is resting on the slab out here. This is the flashing is resting against the bricks, and this is about 1/4 inch above the roof slab. And then the gutters have to be reestablished so that they come all the way over here, and part of them can go into the scupper. And the gutter has to be rebuilt, and that goes into the scupper. And then from here to the corner, which is only about 2 feet, you have to restore a little bit of slope so that the water can go from the corner down to here. And then the timber will be over the cova. It'll wrap over the top of the gutter, all the way into the gutter and up the other side and lap onto the brick. And where the scupper is, the timber will come over the edge of the gutter, down along the gutter, and all the way into the scupper, by 2-3 inches. And then all this would be sealed up, of course, with the Kemper fabric, and they will pay special attention to that little joint right here in the bottom corner. You can put some extra fabric there or whatever. And then on the outside of the wall, this has to come out. So underneath here is our little band, the decorative band that goes around the bottom of the parapet. This has to come out beyond that band by maybe 2 inches. So the band is maybe 1.5 inches, so this whole thing has to come out by about 4 inches. And then this is what it will look like from the outside. If you're down on the ground, you will see this coming out every once in a while. But, if this is about as high as where all the other, the bottom of the parapet spaces, if this is about the same height as everything else, visually it'll look just fine. And then inside here, if this is a corner, where there is a corner here, because we lifted this gutter up to make a slope, this gutter that was sloping down to the corner is gonna have a little dam here, and it can't get to that scupper. So where there's a corner, we have to come over and put in another scupper here so that water can slope from the corner that way and from the corner that way and from the rest of the building to the scupper in both directions. But we don't put the scupper next to the corner because of the thickened wall. So in every case, it wouldn't go here, it would come over one space and be here with a little bit of slope. And then also, if they're equidistant, that would be aesthetically very pleasing to the eye. So again, this has to be all fabricated so that it comes from the metal guys, just like this. All the edges are sealed, and this has to be, at least half the distance of the width, of the gutter. So Kemper has no problem covering it. And the outside has to project and then this dimension from here is the column plus the thickness of the band plus 2 inches. And that will determine this, and then plus a 1/2 inch, at least a 1/4 inch for this. And that determines the overall length from here to here. And if you need me to, I can draw something up for the fabricators. All right, that concludes the latest edition of the Mutual Society roof project. Jai Baba.